Injuries real quick for y'all. Billy Turner, he's going to be out. Chaz Surratt, he's going to be out. Sam Aguavin's dealing with the hip. He's going to be out. Dwayne Brown will not be activated this week. And then obviously Kenny Yeboah first weekend, he won't be activated either. And then everyone else, we're still working in the questionable role, but feel good about everybody else playing.
Is Garrett one of those questionable ones?
He will show up on the injury report, yes.
With Dwayne, I know you were pretty confident that when he was activated, it wasn't going to take too long with the 21-day window. Was it just taking longer than you expected, or is he getting pretty close?
We just need constant communication, which he's been awesome, and he's working through it. And there's just some things that there's not 100% comfort with. Again, he's been working his tail off trying to get this done and trying to alleviate himself of all the different pain that he's having. But we'll continue to work with him and see. I don't know if it's. You guys know me. I'm always optimistic that it's always going to go faster than it should, and but obviously there's a process for it.
Is there any real worry about Garrett being available Sunday?
Optimistic. No, we'll see. Honestly, I'm not going to speak for him or the docs, but there's a couple hurdles he has to clear.
You have been, though, with guys who have been questionable before. You said, oh, yeah, he's good, and then they'll play or something like that. I mean, you're a little more hesitant here to say, oh, yeah, he'll be fine. Too much into that.
I don't want to jinx it. I should knock on wood, shouldn't I? But no, we'll see. He feels good. He's speaking the right language. Everything is positive. I just, like I said, he's just got to go through a couple hurdles.
Robert, after the Eagles game, in the glow of that win, you mentioned that how your defense had embarrassed all the quarterbacks you played with. You're going to see one of those guys on Sunday. I'm sure he's been made aware of that comment. Would you like to reword that or
Double down, dude.
Double down. No. Josh, like I said, embarrassing was probably the wrong choice of words in the heat of the battle. But no, Josh is a phenomenal quarterback. He's one of the top 10 quarterbacks in ball. Takes a lot of pride. I mean, he's a one-man wrecking crew and a damn near Superman on the football field. So tons of regard for him. Everything we do it's about Josh, and they're talented all around them. Tight end's good, obviously Diggs. The backs are good, O-line's good. They got a very, very talented football team, and Josh has also punched us in the mouth a couple of times too. So he's well deserving of all the respect he gets.
With them changing their OC, how does that make things harder for you?
Not that it's harder. No, for sure. It's you go look. It's obviously it's a short week. I'm sure he's gonna start sprinkling in his nuance. How much of that and how much of him is gonna show up? It's gonna take some time. Will play calling be different? Obviously, of course it will be. Will personnel packages be different? We're fully anticipating that, and so the style of play calling, we have our thoughts on that, but. It'll reveal itself as the game goes, and we just got to continue to just play by our rules and play good ball and play sound, communicate, and play to our standard.
Is their defense different than recent years when no more Leslie? They also the two linebackers, Wallace hurt, Edmonds went free agency. Did they look different?
No, because at the end of the day, it's Sean, and they do a phenomenal job. So a lot of the principles, everything's still the same. Are the people different because of the injury? For sure. I kind of look at it like, in 2020, after the night in San Francisco, we lost a lot of the guys, but it was like year 4, so the guys stepping in all knew exactly what to do. They'd been there for a long time, and it's the same thing here. All these guys know exactly what to do, and they're still playing at a very high level. They're very well coached. They play their tails off. They're opportunistic. They communicate really well, and because of it, they're still putting together some really good defensive game plans.
So you guys have faced some adversity, obviously, the last 2 weeks, but if you look around the standings, everything's pretty bunched up. It's all right there in front of you. So just overall, what's the temperature in the locker room right now?
It's good. I mean, I'd say we've been facing adversity all year, but but no, it's awesome. The guys are in great spirit. I thought, again, practice never doesn't always transfer, but the juice in yesterday's practice was phenomenal, and there's a lot of energy. There's a lot of good positive talk. Meeting rooms are alive where people are communicating, asking questions, and speaking. It's not just a bunch of zombies walking around, which can happen. But I like where we're at, and the mindset, the juicy energy, and I don't think it's because they see blood in the water. I think it's because they're excited to go play football and attack this moment, and knowing that if we just take it one day at a time, own our moments, and play to that championship mindset, we'll be okay.
This season probably hasn't gone the way Lazard had hoped. What are you seeing from him right now?
He's coming out. He's still working. Obviously, he's putting in work. He's trying to get himself figured out, and not figured out, but he's trying to get into that groove. And he acknowledges it. He knows he can play a lot better. Part of his style is, how do I say this? He's the goon, and he's got and when he embraces that role of being the goon, where you're in there and you're blocking support, you're making the big boy catches down the middle, and the 50-50 balls in the red zone, and all the different things that he's done his entire career. When he plays to that role, he usually elevates, and so for him, just recapturing that and continuing to work is how he's going to find that, and I think he's working towards that.
Do you think he's experienced a bit more of a challenge because of the fact he's the first time in his career he's playing with a different quarterback? Like, I'm sure he and Aaron learned nuances, body language, just how to play together, and now Zach obviously is different than Aaron.
Maybe it'd probably be more of a question for him. Obviously, change is always going to be different. A lot of his success came from Green Bay, and now he's in a new building, new quarterback, all that. For sure, that you could say that little bit of change can kind of create some not decisions, but his consistency, if you will. But that'd probably be more of a question for him.
It seemed like Dalvin Cook started to get into a little bit more of a groove this last week. Is that promising for maybe him increasing his role, especially with Carter?
100%. I've had a really good talk with him, and you kind of saw it with Josh Jacobs at the Raiders. You miss an entire training camp, and Josh kind of started slow when you watch the early part of his tape, but when you watch him now, Josh looks really good in terms of getting his legs underneath him. And when you look at Delvin, he misses all the training camp. Not exactly sure what he did even before OTAs. He just wasn't in a building, and then you get to week one, and it's just like, God, that juice, the pop, there's something missing, but you kind of saw it, you've kind of seen it over the last couple of weeks, and I feel like his legs are alive. He's starting to see the field the way we know he can see the field, and so getting him more of a role is definitely a priority.
With all the injuries you guys have had in the O-line, Lakin's been the one kind of constant at the same position. What is he kind of meant for that group?
Lakin's been great. He's actually, I feel like he's been improving every week. He's, I don't want to do it to him, but he's kind of been an Iron Man when you consider the O-line and what's been happening to it, and for the last 2 years, and he fights through a lot of pain. He's always trying to find ways to maximize himself and get better, and he takes a lot of it personal, which he should. And but he's been great, and kind of a steadying, a big stability, stabilizing human in there at that left guard spot.
You guys have dealt with some issues at receiver. One of the guys that's familiar to this area, maybe not necessarily your regime, is Robbie Anderson, chosen. I'm not sure what he goes by now. He's on the waiver wire, release, let go. Is that something you guys might explore?
Well, Joe, I know Joe will always turn over every stone. I know he can flat out roll. Pretty sure he got us for one in Carolina. Our first year. Was that him? He did. That was him. But no, he's he is. I remember. I'll keep it to myself. I remember the exact play. Red one. There you go. I see you guys. But no, he can roll. He's got a speed element. He's got a fastball, and whenever a player has a fastball, he's always worth talking about.
A couple more. No more.
No.
Long Island.
Yeah, we got a Long Island team. Floral Park High School, Long Island. The Knights are on a 6-game winning streak and playing for their first championship since 2005. Last week they took down the #1 ranked team in the state, a team they hadn't beat since '98. good luck to them in the championship game tonight. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.